It's Nerding Out with Halligan. Hey, Halligan.
Hey, Scotty.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. Thanks for asking. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to be here. It's like, I always talk about, like, it when I'm listening to you guys, it's always hard not to talk back, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
To the radio. Because I'm like, because, we'll chat here or there on TeamSpeak or whatnot. And Halligan is from the Clash Files, co-host of the Clash Files, and part of the Kentonian family in K-Fam, and long time member. And where did you go to the Kent farmhouse?
We were just talking about this because somebody brought Wharf Rat into our team, or not TeamSpeak, into GroupMe. And it was the first time that I talked to Wharf Rat probably since I first started hanging out with the family about a year ago. That was the Kryptonian family push.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that story.
Yeah.
And you are now the leader of Noble Hero.
Yes, that's the newest clan that we've kind of added to our little family. They were an outside clan that just were all fans of the podcast and took a vote and decided, you know what, let's just give this one over to the Clash Files and we'll see what we can learn. And it's been going so good. A lot of great guys. We just kind of inherited that way.
That's really kind of cool because then you end up with people who are like-minded. But what level clan is that?
It's a level 5 clan. It was lower level. I don't believe that they had any internal Town Hall 10s, because right now Sanchez is our lone Town Hall 10 in the clan, and everybody's in the low to mid Town Hall 9 range, and they're all just looking to learn. There's
nice.
A lot of guys that had been doing a lot of 2-star attacks and just wanted to step up their game a little bit, and we're kind of providing that real comfortable atmosphere to learn in.
It's really interesting how, once people are ready and are just able to see, the TH9s, I'm thinking of especially, the 3-star attacks and the craft that goes into it.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's it just see a lot of people in L who have transformed. It's we were laughing so hard with Benji. Because, he came in and he'd have really good ideas on an attack and he'd be all pumped for it and he'd go in and not do well, and then these last 2 wars, he's just been, I said to him, I go, who is this guy with the 3-star strategy and he got a 99% and but it was, he goes, well, I just been learning from everybody, and it's amazing when people crave that getting better, how much things actually, how much you can actually do.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of it is a real short transition. Once they see it a couple times, then they just start trying it, and it's amazing. Our last 4 wars have been wins, which I don't know if they had quite that type of a string together yet, but out of those wins, we've had at least a half a dozen 90% plus attacks. You didn't get the 3-star, but they're really coming close.
And it's so hard to tell people that in the moment,
right?
It's you got a 90% 1-star. Or whatever it is, and you're but that means you're getting really close and you're getting the hang of it,
Exactly.
And you've got the roadmap. If somebody comes in after you, he moves the spell or does whatever, and it's that's the 3-star. Makes all the drop your queen just a little bit higher, and I think you would have had it.
Exactly.
So we're back after a quick little pause there. I had to get my war attack in. And whatnot, and
how'd you do?
I did 47% 1-star.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, well, my one golem walked around the outside, I wanted him to go into the defense, but he really walked way farther than I thought he would, and I was going to use a jump in the middle and have him hold and do the stuff, and it was just adjusting So then I ended up not even using one of my jumps. My wall breakers actually did what they were supposed to do. They have been so stupid lately. I'm not even trusting them with an attack. So I was holding off on the jump in case the wall breakers didn't go in or do what they had to do. But so I almost pulled it out. If I would have maybe used the poison a little bit earlier, there was a lava hound in the CC. But for the most, I mean, I got the star, so that's.
Yeah.
But
It's a help.
Yeah, we're just in a really bad, they're beating us like 55-38. And they've got 8 more attacks and we've got 11. So, I mean, I really, unless something radically changes. Well, there's 2 9s that haven't been 3-starred yet. They have 3. Shit, we might be able to pull out getting really close, depending on who
you guys have had a couple really tough wars right in a row.
Oh,
one
man.
arranged and one just completely random.
It has been one of the weirdest weeks in Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
We got matched up against the Warlords, I think.
War Corps.
War Corps. I always screw it up. Like one of the top mixed war clans, right?
Yep. Yeah, I think they were number 3 on the list last time I checked. They're up there. They're one of the bests on that list.
And that was random. It just happened. A regular farming, or not a farming map, but a regular push the button. We match up, and we got our asses handed to us. But I guess they're known modders. I mean,
yeah.
And it would make complete sense because, let's see, what was the score? They almost got us on a perfect war.
Oh my gosh!
It was 78-116, and
120 would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my gosh!
They went, through the gate and we're 3-starring, and the one nice thing is that we ended up doing a ton of revamping of bases for that war. And so it was really intense because everybody's I'd been meaning to do a different war base for a long time, and we're strategizing a lot with that war because we're well, these guys are one of the top ones. Let's see what we can do. And so we tried all these new bases. The 9s were looking at past wars, and Guns was up in Titans pushing, and so he was here's some pushing bases, the Titan bases that I'm seeing that might work really well, and everybody just really dialed down, focused, and then we went into the war, and same thing, strategize throughout the thing, and just got pounded. And then
sometimes that's an honor. I mean, sometimes it's like the AAA team gets to face the major league team for scrimmage or whatever. That's something else. That's great.
I mean, we were really, really, really excited. And then when the war started, and you could tell some of the attacks were being modded or whatnot. There was just a lot of stuff going on around it, and I think it kind of demoralized us a little bit. Shit, if we're not doing this, are we going to really, stand a chance and whatnot? And then, right after that war, we had an arranged matchup with SI Warriors. And, they had faced SOAS a while back, and, I don't know what the results of that war were, but I know we got closer. But what was awesome was we had just went through and I think, we did better against the SI Warriors because we had just workshopped our bases. The bases that, got hit for 3 stars, and they were 3-starring, up the board. We were able to adjust, find a different base, or switch some traps and things like that, using some more decoy bases, but using decoy bases that are, if you forget, you don't, it's well, then, they've just had more time to look at your base.
At least, right. At least it's a useful base.
Yeah. Yep. Here it is. And then if you switch it up to it just equally a good base that you would feel good about. So we got to, we had a little bit of practice, and then we strategized, but man, did it really burn us out.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, 2 in a row back to back, and like this war, we're down, and it's just like same with the SI Warriors war. What was happening? It was just like a few missed attacks, so we were 65-71 in the end.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And it came down to if one of the 9s would have not the 99% and just had that 1% maybe in a couple different spots, and had I not blew my attack in that war, I mean,
don't blame yourself. Come on.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just everybody, and and kind of where it all fell,
right?
But I think we would have tied or got really close to tying with just a few things. But then towards the end, then you start to gamble a little bit. Well, we need this. Should I do this? That type of thing, and
right.
But I did have a good attack in there. I've been doing like the 6 golem attack with 3 jumps, a rage, and a freeze, and really using those tanks and the heroes, and I'm really liking it.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know what it is. It's it kind of gives my heroes, because you're TH9, right?
Yes.
So and your heroes are at what?
Queen is 23, King is 20.
Jeez, wow, you're doing pretty good though.
I'm pounding away. I've got Rancid to try to keep up with.
I know. Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with the TH9s in L, and it's like, I'm looking at their heroes. Like Papa Smurf's got maxed heroes for 9, and Ricky Bobby, who just went up to TH10, he's training now. And Huffer's got his up there, but a lot of the 9s I'm behind. A lot on some of them, but I made progress.
And I've said this before, it was a different game when, like, you guys that are 10s now, you started before war and you wanted to use those heroes all the time. You didn't want to wait 2 hours in some cases before they changed the time on them. Right. So you guys were playing a different game up until just recently. So
and then I think too, when the war started, then all of a sudden, like, I'm a 10. And so having the heroes down was also detrimental, because that whole game changed to like a 3-star attack. It didn't really mean anything before. I mean, it was either trophies or how much loot you got. And you could just go with the 2-star and not worry about the entire base.
Yep.
So it was like, wow, this is completely different.
Yeah. So at my heroes, I'm starting to feel like I can and do take out top Town Hall 9s. It's just got to be the right strategy. Before 2020, I tried, and I get so frustrated because I couldn't do it. But I think 2020 is really where you can start really hitting those max defense Town Hall 9s. Yeah, and seeing results.
Well, what are you using then to farm or in wars? I mean, do you have a favorite?
Oh, it used to be Lava Loon, but I can't. I mean, I can barely 2-star with that nowadays. So I've been doing
a air sweeper, or
I don't know what it is, Scotty. Honestly, I keep blaming the second sweeper because I just see my loons get pushed all over the place. But I don't know if it's the more hit points. I don't know what it is. But it's just been failing like crazy.
Yeah, and I guess I don't see as many of them in war. Like the 9s a lot in L are doing, I guess, a little bit of both. Like some hogs, some queen walk. Do you do the queen walk?
I've had a couple good bases that I've done that on. I was able to get a 3-star with like a mass witch attack.
Really?
After using a queen walk. I've been using a lot of witches, and I never really used witches, but I'll use those for the front end a lot. Usually sometimes 4 witches just for my kill squad. 4 witches, 2 golem, and then it's mostly hogs for the backside or for the defenses.
And so you're luring, right?
Nope.
You're going straight with witches.
Yeah, witches, but you've got to have the whiz, and you've got to make sure if the queen walks, if she doesn't follow the rest of the troops in there, you're done for, because you really count on those wizards and that queen to take out that dragon, which is going to be interesting with the new rejiggering of the poison spell doing so much damage to a dragon if it's sitting still. That's going to be fun.
It's one of those things where it's like, well, this is a smaller update, and this should drop in the morning, I'm guessing. Yeah. I thought it was going to drop today because...
I blame Apple for that.
Really?
Yeah, I was reading a lot on the forums about it. Apparently iOS 9 was released today, and Apple put a freeze on any changes in the App Store and all of that stuff. So
they do that a lot with, like, the updates for Clash have gotten detoured by Apple a bunch.
Yeah, this is, I think, the second one in a row that last time it was, what was it, iTunes Music, something like that?
Oh yeah, the music thing.
Yeah, so that was what screwed it up last time. This time it's the new iOS. So yeah, they got to get Supercell's got to figure out a different schedule than
Apple's.
Apple, yeah, you don't compete with them. But yeah, so it was supposed to drop today. It was weird. There was no sneak peek or any notice from Supercell. Everybody's waiting around at 7 Central is what time they usually tweet those out. And there was nothing. And then hours later it says, oh, it's coming soon. It's right around the corner. Nothing.
and then I saw like here's what's coming, like the Chief Pat, like a summary of what to expect or what not. And so basically that means that all of our podcasts, the advice in the podcast in the last few months basically is null and void.
Out the window, yeah.
And it's not like a huge update, but I think that there's some really cool stuff that's going to be coming out of it. So, and you get
25 new walls.
25 new walls. I'm excited about that.
How do you think that's going to affect your 6 golem attack?
I think I'll be bringing in a Quake for the core. Because the Quake's changing, so as I knew it would and predicted. So mine's already maxed, so I don't have to worry about it. And I liked it before, but what happened when it first got released? It was bigger than the jump, or at least like it appeared to be bigger than the jump.
Yeah, I think it's an appearance thing, but it still looks better when all of those walls are down.
Yeah, it's like the pressure's off on the timer and whatnot. And it's cool because for TH8s, like with Britney Spears, she's been doing some drag. She did like 2 drag Velk attacks. And because I don't have a jump spell, I just quaked and used 1 heal to do that. To take out, because I was like talking with RM, I think it was, or when we did the tea time, and he said something about the Velks, and I thought, I'm going to try that. And so over in L2, I kind of, because our wars, we're doing really well, like at the war, I get a little freedom to kind of play around. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, that's right. That is a jump spell. So you can do that with the TH8. You can use, like a high hit point troop. And if the air defenses are in the core, I send in like 8 Velks, I think. And I'm not really worried about the spring traps because they might have them there for the hogs or whatever, but they're only going to take out 1 Velk.
Right. And they usually path so differently that they may hit them on accident, but it's not like they're laid out to spring Velks.
Right. And then, if you get them in and then you heal them in the core, they'll keep going. And if they've taken out all the air defenses, it's kind of like that you got the anti-drag or the anti-hog base.
Right.
So I've been trying to experiment with that on TH8 to be like, well, if it's anti-drag or anti-hog, but you can't do, I think the hybrid really works. And so the first attack I did that, I got a 3-star, and it wasn't a great base. I mean, super great base or anything. And the second one, I got 75%. And I can't remember. I think it was the lure that failed or something like that, where I had to drop a dragon. So, but it's kind of fun to play around. So the Quake now is going to be 25% damage, and I'm guessing that's max.
Yeah, that's got to be the max
on the first
percentage.
Quake.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, like it would be better for me to take that now for sure than it would be to use the poison. Because if I can take 25% with one quake off the town hall and like the infernos that are close to it or whatnot, I mean, I would have had to use like 3 before, or 2 or 3, something like that.
Yeah, and even then, the way that it kind of ramped down and it was only a percentage of what was left, it had to be really, really low before you could take out that building.
Yeah, and also that, like, you'd want to do it where you were going to quake in on it, where you break in the walls, too.
Yep.
So you're, getting double whammy, but, I mean, how many times in an attack, like, is that town hall standing, and now one quake could just flip that switch into almost a 2 or almost a 3.
Yeah.
And boom, I mean, I'm thinking like for 9s too. And I wonder, do you know what the Quake maxes out at 9s? Is it 3?
Yeah, level 3, because mine's a 2, and I hadn't seen any reason to up it, especially while I'm working on my heroes. But I was actually looking at it. I'm close to the I think it's 70K to get it to 3, and I was looking at it this afternoon going, maybe it'll be worth it now after this update.
Yeah, it might be. And I also think because I think that percentage, so we don't know yet what that percentage for each level will be. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 15% for level 1, or if it went up by like 3% per level or something, or 5, maybe not 5%. That seems a little low, or a little high for each level that it goes up on that first hit. But I think with those extra walls, what you're going to be seeing on TH10s especially is, first thing I'm doing is I'm putting them out there and I'm boxing in my Inferno towers and my Teslas in the core.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And because when the things get in the core, because you've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of the 3 jumps lately, on
sure,
the TH10s. And so once those get in there, now it's just getting to the core, and then you have to power through, and it depends on the attack, but now that would make a perfect place to quake. But then you're also going to have to take out 2 jumps. It's going to be the equivalent of 2 spell spaces to take out all those walls.
Yeah, I think the biggest one, yeah, absolutely. And that might be too much. I know that there's been discussion about using them for taking out ADs as well, because I can't remember I think it's 2, a lightning and 2 quakes, or is it 2 lightnings and a quake will take out a max air defense. Ooh. And so, yeah, you can bring enough spells to take out 2 air defenses, send your kill squad in at a 3rd, and then Dragons maybe making a comeback at Town Hall 10.
That would be really cool to see. Mine are actually going to 5 right now. So, and of course, like I'm right about to max out my research again with my elixir, and here comes the level 7 lightning.
They're watching you, man.
I know, just follow along. And because I was like, the dragon comes out, I'm like, oh shit, now I have to, do another elixir upgrade. So the level 7 lightning, the whole lightning spell has been reworked, in my understanding. Like the amount of damage.
They upped the damage for levels 5, and 6, as well as they tightened the grouping on where the lightning hits. Yeah. It's more one spot now, whereas before it was scattered all over the place and it was different for each time you dropped it.
Yeah, it was like center, and then it was left, and then it was right, and so people could almost path like CC troops over it if you really understood how it worked.
Yeah, exactly. That was the trick, is to try to kill the witch that was in the clan castle. Yeah. But that seems to be going the way of and who knows? The other thing, getting back to the poison, the one thing that I think is kind of neat about that is that the faster troops, if you don't lure them to the corner and let them sit there for the full 12 seconds, they'll zip right through that poison and it won't kill them. So it's going to be so interesting. I can't wait to play around with.
So the return of the Valk in the CC, I'm guessing. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I mean, heavy on the Valks because it hasn't really affected
Minions?
them. Minions, yeah,
Yeah.
and the damage. So the damage intensifies like it's under an Inferno tower, like a single Inferno. But then then you're playing. If you've got the dragon in the sea, then you're playing with time. You know, like
Yeah, exactly. It's 12 seconds for the max damage to be done.
Is it shorten the time then? Because it was 30-second spell, right? So it hits max damage at 12 seconds, probably.
Maybe that's what whatever video that I saw for the release, it was 12 seconds to do the max damage to the troops that were in there. And if you use 2 poisons, it doesn't increase the amount of damage. It just increases the time. So it was 6 seconds for it to get to the
So you'll bank on
the full amount of damage.
You'll bank on the lure a little bit more, and to really pull because those drags. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. And when now it's like you pretty much gamble that it's going to be a dragon and some loons. Or a pig dog.
You can almost guarantee. I mean, it's not even a gamble these days.
Yeah,
but with the new stuff, yeah, exactly. With the new stuff, though, we may see some variety, and we may be back to everybody asking, "Oh, did you see what was in that clan castle? Or did you see what was in that clan castle?" I haven't heard that in chat since Poison came out, basically.
Yeah, because it's like, well, if it's a dragon, I'm going to have to deal with it this way. If it's a pig dog, I'm going to have to deal with it this way.
Yep.
But that also goes to another thing in this update is you can freeze air troops.
Yeah, I don't know if that's such a big deal. You'll have to report on that one. I don't know enough about freeze to.
Oh yeah, I suppose that. Yeah. Well, and weren't people speculating about? Well, I guess they were in the L chat about being able to donate a spell.
That came from a Reddit post, and it's supposedly the same guy that did leak code from Supercell from the last update. He apparently hacked into them again and released some just raw code from their programming that said something about donating spells. So who knows? That might be this update. That might be coming up with the whole ClashCon thing. Who knows? But I'm taking that one with a grain of salt.
Well, and you would think that if it was in this update, I guess, they would have released it today. If all of a sudden they could, I mean, they would have
done a sneak peek. Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, because if they were in a thing where everybody's waiting for it after the sneak peeks and they didn't have anything to put out and maybe it was going to be a complete surprise, that would be the first thing I would do. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm gonna bet maybe ClashCon. And that's another big thing coming up. But the one thing that RM said, and I thought this was a really interesting thing. So let's say you freeze the pig dog, right? That comes out. And what if your queen kills it? Do the pups, what happens with the pups? Do they explode from the freeze? It'll be interesting.
Yeah, do they spread out far enough that the freeze doesn't affect them? But the timing on that would have to be pretty darn perfect anyway, because it takes so long for the queen to kill that thing. How long's a max freeze last?
I think it's I want to say I'll pull it up right here, but well, a lot of the times, like my queen will get in and be under an inferno and then start doing the pig dog.
Oh, okay.
So if it froze the pig dog and the inferno, that would make the lava hound a kind of a worthless troop at TH10. Although I hate saying that, but I use that as the strategy of putting the pig dog in the CC before the last update when because she would get in there and they would freeze and normally it would take her a little bit longer to get in, but it would hold her back long enough that they froze too early.
Yeah.
So, oh man, I kind of get excited, and in a way, I'm really glad that it's not like overwhelming update, because that last one was a huge game changer, I thought.
There was a lot to go over on the last one. This one is just little tweaks, and you always hear the complainers on Twitter or on the forums, but it's something to give it a little twist, keep things fresh. I enjoy these.
Yeah, it's 8 seconds on the max freeze.
Yeah, so it would take the timing would have to be really good for it to be frozen when it popped.
Yeah.
But
So
it'd be cool to see.
It would be, yeah. It will, and then if you did that in a poison, it could be really interesting, or as a backup plan,
right?
And the tie breaking in wars. This is another aspect to this If a two people tie, it goes down to the percentage of total destruction.
Correct.
Okay. So most of the ties will become really rare.
They'll be non-existent because, well, I guess you're right.
What if
there's no way.
War?
Yeah. Either a perfect war on both sides or just a crazy coincidence where the total damage is the same as well as the stars. But yeah, so they'll be extremely rare.
And now I know you follow the forums and everything. Mm-hmm. Are these top war clans, are they ending up in ties a lot?
Yes. Yeah. And that's their argument pro mod is because they see all of the Town Hall 9s tripled, and without mod, it's really uncommon to get 3 stars on a Town Hall 10. So if you're doing these matchups where everything is arranged and you've got the same amount of Town Hall 10s, the same amount of Town Hall 9s, then it's going to end up in a tie if you 2-star the 10s and 3-star the 9s. That's what it comes down to. This might be too little too late to get rid of the modding from those top war clans, but I was joking about it, that they're bringing in a tiebreaker and they're making Mass Dragon a strategy for Town Hall 10. That's how they're going to get rid of it.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to seeing what the dragons will end up doing. I mean,
there's been a lot of decent dragon attacks. Like if you see some of the YouTube videos or you watch Twitch, a lot of these top clans are kind of playing around with them, where you take out 3 or in some cases 4 air defenses. You can send the dragons in pretty much unopposed. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because they'll put those. A lot of what I'll see is like the air defenses spread out wide. Yep. within the range. I'm excited to play around with them. The one thing about the Max Dragon is it only does 20 more damage, although it gets 200 extra hit points. So it's more of just a tank instead of the damage I thought would be a little bit higher.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if I read this correctly. So that's, it's damage per second goes from 200 to 220. The hit points go from 2,500 to 2,700. And it's going to cost 5,000 more to make a dragon. So it's getting even more expensive.
Yeah, even more expensive. Yeah.
So, and I've been making a lot for the CCs, so maybe that'll change a little bit. So you're attacking with a lot of different. Are you using You're using hogs in the back end, witches up front. What kind of bases are you looking for in something like that?
Depending on it, I just kind of look and see what is available, what the clan needs me to hit, and if it's a big open base with a lot of open compartments where I can quake a big opening for a bunch of little areas to get in there, then that's where I'll use more witches than normal. If it's kind of a compartmentalized base, then I'll only go in with 2 to 4 witches on the front end. and try to jump them in, take out as much as I can. And while those golems are taking the heat from the core stuff, then I can bring in the hogs from the back end. And I would love to get loons in that mix, but I just, like I said, I haven't had any luck with those. Even that's what I've been using all my life.
Well, and it's hard to do the trade out, right? Because you almost have to. From what I see, because I quit doing the lava loon a while ago.
Right.
I just did not have luck with it in war. And, but the trade-off with the loons is if you don't bring enough, you might get taken out by the air mine.
Yep.
So you either have to have had somebody who went in and attacked with air, or you have to bring enough that if mine and, there's one of the seeking air mines takes out a big chunk of it. But I suppose it's the same with hogs too.
To some degree, but I mean, even with as long as the they don't have any like hidden double giant bombs, like most of the time they're pretty obvious. Yeah. So you can kind of heal around the worst traps for the hogs, where with the loons you really have no option. You can rage to do more damage, but they're still getting hit by the air mines. So what I found is you've got to be really light on your front end attack and to bring enough loons, like you said. And it's just I can't get it done. Can't get it done anymore.
Do you have haste?
Yeah.
Have you done max that out for your TH?
I did, because I was still trying to work those balloons. And, it really works well for pushing and farming. I farm up in Masters 1 just because I like the bonus so much.
Yeah.
And having 3 rage and 2 haste is an awesome combination, because you can knock out half the base without even trying, and then just let the minions clean up all the loot. So
nice.
I love it. I love it for farming. I haven't really found a good place for it in the wars yet.
Yeah, I guess I haven't seen anybody farming with haste that I remember. I mean, I've seen the haste a few times in war, but not a ton either. Like, I think some people are maxing it, but maybe once other people start using it a little bit more. I know somebody else. The player's name, somebody else in the clan, had used the haste a few times and did some really cool attacks. And I need to just write these things down, because it's like you're watching these attacks and it's like, oh yeah, this person did this person did this. It's cool. And it was
notebook next to your bed all the time, right? Like
Well, I have Post-its that I put out, like things to talk about. And I'm like listening to your guys' podcast the other day. And I'm going, oh, I'm going to ask Rancid about this. And so I've got 2 Post-its because I forgot my notebook here. And then I can't read what I wrote. It gets kind of crazy.
A little rushed.
Yeah,
sure.
A little rushed. And I've even written stuff down in the car while I'm driving. And then I really can't, because I'm like, I'll make this out later. Yep. So, well, here's a question, I guess, because so you're now the leader of Noble Hero.
Yes.
What has been like, I think like the Kent families, I think what you guys have done really well is this sense of community, this the way you manage it. I think like having you guys as, podcasting and kind of seeing, you see each other or talk to each other regularly. I wrote down on my list here, like the evolution of the clans, that type of stuff. But what are you learning as a leader? Or like, because I was even like, I went on your website today actually. And like and I really like how you guys have it all laid out.
Yeah, that's Natalia did put a lot of effort into that. It's a really beautiful website.
Yeah, it's really cool. And you have a little bit about each clan and what kind of the rules are and but like it's like stepping into a leader, like how would people out there, I guess, even, if you've got a clan, and we get a lot of people that, everybody actually has, didn't start, everybody came from somewhere else.
Right.
So what are you seeing in terms of how do you create a functional clan, or what kind of, what I'm.
Well, if the thing about Noble Hero especially is because it was their own clan, they had their way of doing it. Kent has always had our way of doing it, and there was a little. I wouldn't even go so far as to say it was friction, but a lot of confusion in that. So most of my job has just been ironing out that confusion. I'm more of a moderator, so to speak, as opposed to a iron-fisted leader. And I think the real key is that we don't set up chats just for the individual clans. We've got chats for the Clash Files family. We've got one group chat that everybody uses on GroupMe. And yes, we've got like a leader's room for each clan, but then we've got a overall leadership room where that's where we all talk. Like you said, Coop, Nat, Rancid, I talk on minimally a weekly basis, and we're able to share what's going on in the family and what we have to work on here, what we have to work on there, and everything's communicated beforehand. So it's really tight. Even though it's 4 clans, it's just more one group of 150, 160 people. So it's pretty cool that way.
Well, yeah, and I think part of it kind of comes up because L moved out of line. The Line app and over to GroupMe. And I think you guys did too.
Yep.
About that same time. And so the people that are like online still, like I know that some of us are back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, you and me both. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't check the line as much as I should, but I kind of like the interface of GroupMe better. But all of a sudden it comes out where you've got a clan, and how do you there's like the organizational piece, what functions I think a outside chat serves, and then understanding your members. Like some people, their wives say you can play your game, but you can't be on the chat program. So we have members that way. We've created like a couple war rooms.
Yep.
And then we've got TeamSpeak, and in some parts of my mind, it is, I think it needs to focus down and narrow the focus, so there's not so much going on. And when we have the leader chat, and so right. I think like the clans evolve, and so you've kind of stepped into the leader role of an existing clan. Do you turn the ship, or is it?
It's a navigation. Like you can't come full. What do you call it? Full about on a boat. But there's definitely some navigation back and forth between what they thought they were going to get by coming to the Kent family and what they really are getting by coming to the Kent family. But like I said, for the most part, there's just some great guys there, and it's worked out really well.
So at that point, you've got all these new people. Do you have is there a set of rules for these chats?
Yes. Yeah, that's the one thing. And the one thing that I liked better about Line, and there's not much that I liked better about Line, was that you could make those posts, that you could put stickies up. And Natalia was always really good about having the rules posted. And with GroupMe, there's really no way to do that except calendar notifications. So we've got these calendar dates in the book that have the rules for not just individual clan, but for the whole family. I mean, every clan follows the same rule book, with the exception of Steal the Glory, because they've got a little bit more leeway because of their more war-oriented focus. But for the most part, everybody follows the exact same set of rules. We are all shooting for the same thing, which is just to have fun playing a game, and everybody does pretty good at it.
Yeah, I think, and that was a problem that I had with the Fitz chat, because things could get out of. There was not like necessarily a moderator, right?
Right.
And I know like Illness and Rob have talked a lot about going to Discord because people can't nuke the chat.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's so much stuff that happens behind the scene when you've got really active people.
Yes.
And I think, it's like, how do you avoid things that are going to be big issues? And because tone and text are just the worst things. There's no italics,
right.
to stress words. So it's like, here's one thing that I did think of for the rules, because I'm going to talk with the leaders of L and kind of come up with like a set of rules. Like, okay, here's how we can help minimize drama or things that like go on or misunderstandings before things get taken the wrong way or something. I'm going to put the rules right in the profile picture of the clan. So
there you go.
So instead of having like
can't miss it.
Yeah, the Superman logo, or I'm going to put the Superman logo up a little bit higher, and I'm going to put the rules right there. So that way we can all we agree on a set of rules about like how we communicate and what we are, and not let that stuff creep into like the game, like to keep it a game. And I think maybe some of this came up because there's with the last week's stuff like
stress
and there's not been a lot of like misunderstandings, but just the course of history, with the game and like the K-Fam, how do we minimize it? And then like, and that's, so it's something that's really like interesting to me, because there's a lot of people out there who participate in outside chats to help coordinate.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some really cool things like the Twitter, I want to sketch, right? You can post your sketch. Sketch is an app. You can draw on it. There's a lot of other apps. Do you use Sketch at all?
I do. Yeah, I've got it. I don't draw out attacks all that often unless it's something really tricky and it's really critical for me to get the 3-star. But I do have the app. I have used it. I have drawn out attacks. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so people post that in there, and then they can kind of workshop it,
Yep.
And Itachi has been using Twidla.
Yes.
And you guys, I think, talked about it on your show.
I don't know if we talked about it on our show. It might have been Tate, because that's a thing that I know that One Hive uses, where multiple people can be on the same drawing on a computer, and they can be talking on TeamSpeak, drawing and making X's on the same battle plan all at the same time.
Yeah, it's like a live sketch, the
Yep.
collaborative sketch. I was really hoping it was for the iPad, because I think that would be an awesome. I think it would be awesome for Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I could see, down the road, flipping between the screens and being able to like workshop attacks before they happen, go in live and attack, and then dissect what went wrong.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, no kidding. There's really no way to doing that on Twitch.
Well, you could switch between the monitors, or switch in between the screens, but I think it would be such a cool approach, even to do it like with a YouTube thing, where you could record the okay, here's what my attack's going to be, draw it out, strategize it with people, and then go and you do the attack, and then you come back and you say, okay, what went wrong? I dropped this here, this went wrong, and really, instead of doing the reactive approach to attacks, to do it proactively, to say, here's how I plan it, here's what went wrong. Because most of the time you see it, and if it's a 3-star, it's like, wow, I got really lucky on that. It looks like you really knew what was going to happen, when there's always like chaos that comes down during those attacks, I think.
Yep.
I panic. And actually I love attacking live on TeamSpeak, because it calms me down. Like, I'm like, yeah, you guys just talk about whatever, or, remind me about the poison if I forget the poison, or, and it gives me a really good sense of timing. Like, okay, I'm rushing it, or I'm not rushing, because everything just goes on so fast in those attacks. Are you guys doing like approved attacks?
Yes. Especially in my clan, because everybody's still feeling each other out, you do have to get clearance from an elder or a co on your attack, and that's just more so that we know that people aren't reaching above their talent level or going below where they should be trying. It's not like we're saying that this is no, don't do it that way, do it this way. It's more so that we can get the feel of how they're attacking, maybe nudge them in a different direction, or say, oh, you might want to bring four more hogs instead of the wizards that you're bringing. So it's more. It's not like
into
saying
everybody's like expertise.
Exactly. And even in Kent, before I switched over to Noble Hero, you didn't necessarily need approval because it was the same group together for so long, but it was always encouraged to talk out your attack just in case somebody else saw something differently, or if there was a new member in there, they could learn and say, oh, this is what he's trying to do. Let me watch the attack and see how he did it.
Yeah, just brainstorming, like you're teaching others by going through it.
Yep.
Even if you're not spending hours looking at it, you say, I'm going to, attack from this way. This is what's happening. And I think kind of what you were speaking to a little bit too, is that you get a sense of the rhythm of the members.
Yep.
And so we will leave some stars lower open sometimes because we are a clan sometimes that is just, some people can only attack this at this time and this time. And you can kind of count on these being cleaned up, or you having been together for a long time, you know where, like, I'll look at certain 10s and I'll say, no, that's, Buzz has been attacking really well with this, and I'm guessing he's going to want that base. And sure enough, a lot of times I'll go to Clash Caller and I'll say, oh, yep, Buzz called that.
Yep.
And so I even thought about, like the idea of doing like a TH level general for like each war. Just briefly, like if you had somebody kind of coordinating, not necessarily the entire war, but the people who, people who've been there for a while, like saying, where should I hit or what should I be, at this point in the war. And if you had somebody kind of in charge in each of those wars to really maximize those stars, it could be helpful and take pressure off of the entire clan. Yeah,
absolutely. That's I've known clans to break it down that way, where like the top third reports to this guy, the middle third reports to this guy, or for a while in Kent, Slady would kind of be the Town Hall 8 coordinator because he had been Town Hall 8 for a while and it just was really good at reading Town Hall 8s. So that was his kind of gig there for a while. But you have that luxury when you're together for so long. When you're kind of new and feeling each other out, then you don't have that luxury.
Yeah, you got to learn. And see. And I think about that. I think about that too with the levels, because as a TH10, it's really hard for me to tell a TH9. Mm-hmm. Where, that works or that doesn't work. Because I'm used to, certain things. But now having a TH8, I have a really good sense of I'm able to do at TH8.
Exactly.
So there's a big spread because of the amount of time. And then the new updates come. Oh, you only have this level of this. Or, so the game completely changes. And I've actually toyed with the idea of going up to 9 with Brittany. In my war weight would be low, but I'm not sure yet. When will you will you ever go to 10?
Oh, yeah, probably. But I really do want to play at max 9 for a while. Just because, like I said, at 2020, I felt like I had the chance of getting 3 stars on a max Town Hall 9. Now, if I get up to 30-30, there's still no guarantee of a 3-star, but then at least I can really push the boundaries,
Right.
and that's what I want to do. I want to do that for a while, and then who knows? Maybe when you're at Town Hall 11, then I'll move up to Town Hall 10.
They said that they're like, well, if Town Hall 11 came out today, would you go? This was on TeamSpeak. Well, they said Scotty would do it, and then he would max out all of the defenses that were new. I'm like, hell yeah. Because I think I would, although my heroes are need some work. But I think I would do it if it
still do it. Yeah, might as well.
Just like, okay, if my elixir's done and there's going to be new elixir upgrades. That's the one thing with Papa Smurf. He's maxed out TH9 now, except for maybe some walls, I think. But he said he's sitting on 175,000 dark elixir and he had nothing to spend it on. And I said, excuse me, I'm going to go throw up in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah, forget donating spells. Let's be able to donate resources.
Dark elixir, yeah. And I thought that would be that's my line at TH8. When I go up, I would definitely go up to 9 if I ran out of dark elixir upgrades. And Itachi was actually talking to me, and he said, well, you could be working on your queen, if you keep your defenses low and work on them at your pace. I do have Velks and golems to do, but the dark elixir, I wouldn't let a drop of that hit the grass. I would be on top of it like nothing else. Yeah,
it's so valuable at all Town Hall levels.
Yeah, and I mean, think about the going from, I think my next queen upgrade to 30. She's at 29. She's going to cost 150K. And it's 5,000 each time. So, it really adds up.
Oh yeah.
But, well, I know you guys that you're going to be tight on time because you guys are going to be doing, an episode tonight.
Yes, we are. Check it out, the Clash Files.
Check out the Clash Files. And I was telling Rancid this, and of course, and nobody knows this, but I was supposed to record with Rancid last night. We started recording twice. My computer crashed, so we're going to reschedule. But I was saying I was listening to it, and I think one of the really cool things about your podcast, and you guys had talked about this, was that you actually can listen to it in the car with your kids. If you have kids around and you want to nerd out to Clash and they're doing whatever, because it is a family friendly podcast. And I think that's really cool that you guys you went that route.
Yeah, well, we've all got kids. We all realize it, and I think if anybody caught our show with Daddy, I said that I love the other podcasts, but there's podcasts that I love, but I would not play with my kids around.
Well, and I said that to Rancid too. I'm like, because a lot of times like we sit down to record and I just don't have my kid filter on, or and you think about that, and I've gotten feedback about that in the past, and but I think that's really cool. I think it's good to just let people know that too, because if you are on that vacation or you're doing whatever and you don't want to have to put on headphones, or you want to know that it's all right for kids to be around while you're doing that, it's a safe one.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. And I really, really loved that Daddy episode that you guys did. I would definitely check it out because it's cool to see the stuff. And he was on the show a while ago, and I really, really enjoyed him. But I love the way he talks and kind of dialed down into some of the big, complicated Clash issues. And because you guys got into modding, and you guys talked about that, and he really brought a real practical standpoint to it, I thought.
Absolutely. And going back to when he was on your show, that had to be over a year ago, wasn't it?
No, I think it was just maybe it was.
Yeah, because one of the things that I remember vividly about listening to that one was how he was adamant about Supercell is not all about the money. Yeah, they want to make money, but that's not their primary focus. And he really has a good handle on how they see things, how they operate, which it's really refreshing to hear.
Well, yeah, and he sees, I think he sees the game in a very, very, very fun way, that he remembers that it's a game. And I like that how he talked about the YouTube channel, and that, he has a career, and I think in some ways that keeps it fun for him. And he also keeps that perspective, because I think, if, like Twitter, like where good souls go to die.
Yes.
It's it can get really tense with active players, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and I've gotten caught up in it, and things like that. But it really, he was really grounding, I think, where it's like, the things get really tense when things aren't fixed, and because this game means a lot to a lot of people. And I think about how Coop talked about on your show about, when he didn't have his family there, and, and the community that every kind of rallies around it, like-minded people playing a game, strategizing, having fun. But it can lead to a lot of tensions. And I don't know. I really, when we talked to him, when he was on, it was the same way. It was really grounded. I check out all of your guys' podcasts, because I was actually saving them for my long car ride tomorrow, and then I broke down, and
you burned out.
I broke down, and I've got a few of Rancid's.
You'll enjoy
series.
those. You'll enjoy those. He had that 4-part series on. He just went to Town Hall 10, so he talked to a bunch of our Town Hall 10s about their progress, what they did, and what they would do different. It was a great series. It really was.
And I got through one, and it was with Jamie, and I remember, I was like, oh yeah, I remember Jamie from Twitter and email from like the early days of the podcast and stuff. So I'm like, oh, he's been around for a long time, and like the camcord one, I think it's really interesting. I like the tech updates too, and it really
I'm a geek at heart. Yeah,
but I think it's really informative for people who are like geeks too, but maybe not. You're on the forums, you bring something else to the table that kind of comes from all around. So
well, have you seen our newest kind of endeavor, our Clash After Dark on Twitch?
Yes, I haven't checked it out on Twitch yet, but I know Warblade has been doing it, and I think that's a really cool idea.
It's very neat because it's kind of an interactive podcast. He'll do replays or whatever, and I know that you've recorded some shows live on Twitch, but it's really great to have the chat room active and asking questions during the show. Really cool, and I know that he would love to have you on. So
anytime.
This is an official invitation. I'll put you guys together, and you can be on one of his next shows.
Yeah, definitely anytime. Yeah, we're kind of doing a little bit of that with like L Unfiltered, just kind of doing our thing, because I think when you are in like the team speak and everything, you start to see how interesting the strategy is and how dynamic the people that come together are. So I've really got to check that out. And usually what happens is I go in to Twitter and I see it's already passed. Yep. So I'm like I'm retweeting it like 3 hours later.
Catch it next week.
Yep, next week. Do you guys do that at a certain time every week?
I believe it's Tuesdays at 10:30 Central. I'll have to double check and get back to you on that. But I do know that it's the same night every week.
Okay, yeah, that's great, because then, and I think it always happened with L2, when like with Twitch, it would be the war, our wartime was at a different time, or the replays would get lost on the wars that I was going to Twitch, and Yeah. So I would check that out. And what's the channel for that? It's the Clash Files, right, on Twitter?
It's actually the Clash Files family. We put the channel together so that anybody in any of our clans can be hosted by it. So it's twitch.tv/the Clash Files family.
And you can check out the Clash Files on iTunes, Stitcher, and you guys have another one that you usually say on your show, and I can't.
Spreaker is the one. I've never used it, but I guess that's what Coop likes to. Yeah, I know that he uses that. But basically, wherever you get this podcast, wherever you get any of your podcasts, you can find the Clash Files.
I suppose if you can find this podcast, you can find the Clash Files.
Exactly.
And you should check out the website too, because it's pretty neat and gives some good bios on the clans and lots of really good information. So I've definitely checked that out. And do you have a Twitter? Do you have any shout outs? You probably are saving your shout outs for your show tonight.
Yeah, I know I've got one for my show, but I just want to take the time to thank you, Scotty. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for sitting in my car talking back to you for years and years and years.
And now I know how you feel, because I'm like, oh yeah. And having talked to you, and we're all in the podcaster chat, so it's like I feel like we know what's going on, and we can connect and stuff. And
let me ask you this: do you read those chats in everybody's voices? Because I do.
Yes. And I got to tell you, I think that it helps with misunderstandings. Not with us, but even in the L chat and stuff, I can hear everybody's voices.
Yeah.
So it's like when they say something and I'm like, oh yeah, that's his sarcasm, or that you really get a sense of people that way.
Yep.
And I think it's a really, those tools are really cool. But I like what you said about the rule and how you organize. I think there's a lot out there for people to think about with that, and using those tools, but using them in the right ways. So a shout out to you guys. You make my drives better and fun and lighthearted. I think that's great. And so you can follow Hal on Twitter at DS Halligan, right?
Yep, that's it, at DS Halligan. The DS is for an old clan. It's not initials or anything, but it's kind of like the tattoo that I can't get rid of.
Oh, okay. I keep wondering which one I'm going to get, and I still keep putting it off. You can follow on at WBSMT Radio on Twitter, or at Scotty827 for announcements and things that are out there happening. Try to check Twitter once a day or so. And ClashClansPodcast.com, ClashFiles.com. Find out some more information and things like that. I think there's going to be some new changes to the website coming up. Well, thanks, Halligan, for being here. It's always fun.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
All right. Keep it clashy. Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.